All right, this card here is totally different, and we're going to do a little bit of techniquing on this one. We're going to use the Stampin' Write markers, and I'm going to show you a little technique, and I'm going to show you the stuff that I use for this. So this is like just a pretty easy card that literally took me no time at all. But I want to show you the stuff that I used and kind of the inspiration I had for it. So this is called the Textured Florals DSP. This is an online exclusive that is available currently right now, or has been available for, I don't know, since March. But it's black and white, and it's got like kind of the textured florals on one side and like textures on the back. Okay, so that's another texture. And then we have this one with that on the back. And we have this one with that kind of looks like a black, almost wood grain, not quite, like a wash. And then this one with that kind of looks wood grainy, but it's not. And then this one here. So there's 6 different patterns. And then the pack comes with 2 of each, okay? And then there's a whole different one, and this one is called Textured something or other. I don't even know, you guys. There's so much stuff. I can't keep track of all the names. But this one is all different textures, okay? So stay tuned, because I'm going to make something super amazing with this, like hopefully this weekend. But this one comes with 4 different textures, and there's 2 of each, okay? So this is one side, and then here's the other side. Can you see it's like woven baskets and like, I mean, straw. This is like that straw seat thing. I forgot what that's called. Like wicker, rattan, I don't know, like tote bags. Super, super fun, right? This one's like a rope, jute, like rug. I don't know. This is like burlap. This one's like linen. This one's like the outdoor patio fabric that like never fades and never like it's destroyed. I mean, super fun. Okay, so that's what I started with, was this paper, really. And then I thought, okay, you could do any colors with it, right? This is the Textured Notes stamp set that comes with that collection. And then this is called the Textured Notes dies. So these dies go with this, but these are all rectangles and they're all textured. Okay, so they're just like, this is like a classic set. This is one of those, like, if you need rectangles, here you go. And these are great for sentiments too. Some of these smaller ones make good, like, you stamp the sentiment and then you can cut it out. So this one has like, you know, for the long words, like the word I just used, the big support would go right inside there. And then like if you had just a shorter one, it would go right in here, or like kind of bigger. I don't know. Like these are just great. And I think the biggest one is card front size. So let's look at that. It's just under, so it would make like a good frame on your card. Okay. So this is a good staple set. And then this is the stamp set. It's a cling set. Okay, and I've clearly only used a couple of them here, but it's a cling set, and it goes great with this. So I'm going to use the stamp. I might use another one of the stamps. I might use a couple of them on the inside of the card, but this is the card we're going to make. This one I stamped "Words Fail to Express My Gratitude," but I don't remember where that came from. It came from some other stamp set. So I have Cherry Cobbler cardstock. Again, I cut 8.5 by 11. This one I had cut this way, but this one I am doing like the top fold on the card. And then we have some black cardstock. I literally just took a piece of my scraps, and it was kind of centered, not completely, but you know, I literally just found a piece of scraps, and so I was like, well, that works. Because you know, sometimes you don't want to like measure and cut, and so that's what I did. And then we're going to put this one on here, but first I'm going to do this technique. So this is called, I don't know what it's called. It's called Jen's Gonna Just Play. Okay. I'm taking the Stampin' Write markers and I am going to color on the block. Then I'm going to take my block and I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to stamp it on the paper. That's what this technique is. So the Stampin' Write markers have like a lot of different things you can do with them. This is one of them. You can create backgrounds, colorful backgrounds with the markers. So that's what we're going to do. I've done this with ink pads before, you know, like ink up your block with ink and then spritz it and stamp it. But we're going to do it with a marker. So I am literally just going to take the marker and we're going to go like a third with this. This is cherry cobbler, I'm pretty sure. Yep, cherry cobbler. And then we're going to take purple. This is called Gorgeous Grape. And we're going to do a third at the bottom of Gorgeous Grape. This is a 3x3 block from Close to My Heart. I still have all my Close to My Heart blocks. I honestly, the only Stampin' Up! Blocks I have are the ones that come in Paper Pumpkin. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this underneath so you can see the color going on there. Okay, so I have, this is green, Shaded Spruce is the color. Okay, so I've got my 3 colors on there, okay, and that's the exact same colors I used over here. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to do this off camera just because I don't want to get water everywhere, but I'm going to spritz it, okay, and I'm going to bring it back on so you can see that there is water on there. And then I think, should I do this? Yep, we're going to do this. I'm going to keep it at the top part of this section here. I don't want to do this like too slowly, but we're going to stamp it right down. And every time you do this, it's going to look a little different. And then there you go. So I created a background using my Stampin' Write markers on a block to create just a little texture behind here, okay? And then I took a piece of the DSP and I'm going to fussy cut out this leaf and I'm going to put it on there. So we're just going to do that. There's a couple of other techniques that you can use these Stampin' Write markers for. In fact, I have like this document that has 12 different ideas. Okay, I haven't tried all 12. And off the top of my head, I'm not really sure what all 12 of them are. But apparently there are 12. A couple of them that I really have like kind of been impressed with and have done and enjoy and think are like my favorite, I guess you could say, are that you can do this kind of thing, right? You can use them like, you can kind of use them like an ink pad, right? I mean, you can journal with them, you can color with them. I have colored with them, but they're not an alcohol blend marker. So they just kind of color. It's like using a Crayola marker, right? It just colors, it just adds color to whatever you're coloring with. It doesn't blend. So it kind of leaves it streaky, is what I have found. So coloring with them, yes. Is it the best option? Probably not. However, I now have all of these Stampin' Write markers sets, and I do not have all of the Stampin' Blends because I still have all of the Tri-Blend markers from, what brand are they? I don't know, the Tri-Blend markers that Close to My Heart sold. And I didn't want to get rid of them because they're still great. And I didn't really want to invest in all of the Stampin' Blends yet. So that's, and you know what, like as a newer demo, I've been with Stampin' Up! Now for a year. As a newer demo, you know, it's hard when you, especially changing companies, right? Coming from Close to My Heart over to Stampin' Up! Or even if you are just joining Stampin' Up! As a new demo, you don't have to have everything. I think it's a mistake that a lot of like newer people make where they just like think they have to have it all. I mean, sure, like that would be great, right? To have it all. Like I would love to have it all, but it's an expense. And then when you do buy it all and then, you know, you kind of burn out or you run out of money, because let's be real, like this hobby is not a cheap hobby. No hobbies are cheap. Okay. If you find a cheap hobby, let me know, because my husband might need one. Joking. But anyway, I mean, like golf's not a cheap hobby, right? And, you know, playing tennis is not a cheap hobby. I mean, there's not really any cheap hobbies out there. So anyhow, buying all the things just isn't really like conducive or isn't an option for everyone. So now that I've fussy cut this out, I literally will just put it on there with a little bit of dimensionals, and it just gives it like a really easy, fun textured background, right? You could do this on like a piece of cardstock. Boring, it's just one single color, right? You could do it on like a pattern paper, but then that might be too busy and not conflict, I guess kind of conflict or clash with what you have going on here. So this is just an easy way to give color, right? I could have done 2 colors. I could have done 1, but I thought that the 3 just kind of really worked well together. So this is what I'm going to do. So let's add this to, it's still a little bit wet. So I'm going to, instead of doing that, I'm going to make my bow. Where did I put my ribbon? Okay, so I used, this ribbon is called, you guys, I still don't know how to find all the names. Okay, Cherry, Cobbler, and Gold. And that's really tiny and my eyeballs are not that great. But this is Cherry, Cobbler, and Gold ribbon. I think it's still available. But it's a really skinny like satin ribbon. And so the skinnier ones are kind of easier to make bows. Okay, I told you I'm not a good bow maker. But I try, I give it my all. So I make my ears and then I'm going to go around and then we're going to pull it through. And then I just kind of play until I get it the way I want it. Oh, and I leave it on the spool. Okay, so that once I have like my my bow the way I want it, then I will cut it. So I just kind of play. Like I said, I'm not a great bow maker. Okay, I kind of like that. And then now I can cut off this edge and then I'm not wasting over here. Like if I just cut a piece, like sometimes you waste it or sometimes you don't cut it big enough and then you really waste it because it wasn't big enough. So now I have that whole thing left. I was just trying to give this a little bit of time to dry. It's okay. We can go with it. So I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive than I normally would because this is wet. I don't normally go around all 4 edges of a piece of paper, but I'm going to do that because it's wet. Okay, so there we go. Now you can see that I did different sizes on these ones. And this one is not like completely straight, so let's try that again. Oh boy. This might be a mistake. Okay, so it tears the paper. Life. Okay, let's do this again. That wasn't completely straight. And I didn't like that. So let's just try again. Okay. Well, we're just going to go with it. I don't know if that's any straighter. Whatever. Sometimes you just have to smile and nod and move on. Okay, let's put some dimensionals on this guy. I'm not going to get them everywhere, but we're going to get a few on there. And peel those off. And then we'll put that right there. And then my bow is going to go right here. Let me get a glue dot. Do you guys use glue dots? I don't always. I find myself, now that I'm using ribbon more, using more glue dots. I'm going to pick this up with my scissors and we're going to kind of make it smaller and then put it on the back of the ribbon. Now that I'm using ribbon more and tying more bows, I'm finding myself using glue dots more often. Okay, so this one, the bow is kind of off to the side, which I actually kind of like. And then we're going to use a little note of appreciation because it's already on the block. Nope, I'm going to use thank you. All right, so you're going to see me put the sticker on. Okay, so I'm going to find thank you right here. So this is how you put your stickers on your cling stamp sets. So they come with these sticker sheets. I'm going to take the backing off of the sticker. Actually, I have to take it off of here first. So you have to take the backing off of here. I'm going to set that down. And take the backing off of this one. I'm leaving it on the carrier here. And then I'm gonna put this upside down right into that little hole. Line it up really good. And then pull it off. And now my sticker is on my stamp set. Okay, so that's how you do that. It's pretty easy. It's just a little extra step. Okay, so we're gonna do thank you here. I'm gonna move that bow and we're gonna go right in there. Okay, we're gonna do that with black. And my black is Memento. And let's ink that up. Put that right there. Okay, we are good. And then on the inside of the card, I have to cut some white for the inside of both of these. I have a piece of white right here. Let's bring in my trimmer. We're gonna go 4, and this is a it's 6 inches wide, so I know I have to cut off 3/4 of an inch to make it 5 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna put it on the inside. Before I do that, I wanted to show you one more thing that you can do with these markers that I think is pretty cool, and it is kind of reminiscent, or it's a little hack, I guess, since we don't have shimmer brushes in these colors. But shimmer brushes, we can splatter, right, to add color. Well, you can do the same thing with these markers. You take the paintbrush edge and the tip of the marker, and you just, I'm not well practiced on this, but you flick. And it gives a little splattering. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to do it with the other colors, so hopefully we'll be able to see it. Okay, but you just flick. This might not be a great idea to do all 3 colors. I probably should have done like, I don't know, but we're just going to kind of flick some more. Oh, I can see the red a little bit better. I'm going to do the red kind of on the edges here. And this is kind of cool because you can kind of like direct it where you want it. So that's kind of neat. Very fine, like a misty. Now I think you can see it. Like a misty offering of the color. So that's kind of fun. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this leaf stamp set, which kind of mirrors or masks that one. Oh, I need to cut a second one for that. So I'll do that. I'll do that after. But I'm going to take this leaf stamp, and I'm just going to stamp a little bit on the side here. So let's ink that up. Let's ink it up a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Now it's getting ink on it. And we're just going to stamp off. That's okay. I'll wipe up the mat. Okay, just a little bit of stamping there. And then it's on my mat, so I want to go like this and wipe it up. And then I'm going to leave that on the block because I've got to do that again on the other card. Oops, changed my mind. Let's clean this off. I got to stamp the inside words. Okay, so we're going to go little note of appreciation is going to go on the inside. So on the outside, we put thank you. On the inside, we're going to put a little note of appreciation. There we go. And then let's glue that in inside of the card. And voila. Do you decorate the inside of your cards? I typically don't. But if I'm using a colored cardstock like this, and then I have to put something on the inside, if I'm going to take that time to put something on the inside, then I'm probably going to decorate it too. Either put like a little piece of paper, just a little like stamp on the side. Don't always stamp on the inside of my cards, but a little hack I've realized in life is that if you stamp on the inside, you have to write less. So that's kind of fun too. And I learned that from my son, who was like, Mom, there's nothing on the inside of the card, so I have to write so much. I just don't feel like writing all that stuff. And so I've been stamping on the inside of cards and he appreciates that. So there we go. So here you are with your Stampin' Write markers on a block, creating a textured background. So that is the technique here. You can do this with any of the Stampin' Write markers. They come in all of the color families. So this one is, I opened it from the bottom. This one is the Regals collection. And then they come in every color family, as well as the in colors. So this is the 25 to 27 in colors that are just launching in May. All 5 of those colors in there, and you can get them as a set only. You cannot get them individually, but you can get the Stampin' Blends markers, which are these. Actually, they come in a set. I don't have the set for this. I don't know why. This is the set for, I don't know what color that is. Oh, ivory and bronze. This is a set. Ivory and bronze come together. This is a set, but the colors, this color is light Misty Moonlight. I don't know where the dark one is, but this is light Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight comes in a set. They all come in a set of 2. So you'd get the light and the dark. This comes in a set of 2, but it's bronze and ivory. And I think I got these for like skin colors or something like that. I'm not sure. But these are literally the only 3 Stampin' Blends I have. So, but these are different than the Stampin' Write markers. So I just wanted to show you a couple of fun things you could do with the Stampin' Write markers. I hope that you have enjoyed this demo time, that I taught you a little bit of technique, and that you can take these ideas and run with them and create with them. If you do this technique with the Stampin' Write markers, or if you do any of the techniques with the Stampin' Write markers, please feel free to drop them below in the comments so that we can all see. And that's it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Bye.